Hey, Tony Muse, I'm back again. We've been working on our power box. We've been working on finding our push. Up to this point, everything we've done has been in a straight line. What we're gonna do in a straightaway, which is kind of cool because, you know, lots of us skate outside, lots of us, well, we all skate in a straight line at some point, but at the end of the day, we all have to turn at some point as well. So we're gonna work on our corners now, our crossovers, if you will, to see, does it need a different, Tony? Does our power box move? Is our mechanics? And it's exactly the same. You have to do the heavy lifting to go through the steps to find where that power box is. What's interesting is in a straight line, your power box is right here. But if you think about it, because we're turning now and we're leaning in, our power box shifts a little bit. Because even though our feet are here, maybe our body's a little over this way because we're leaning in that direction. So be very, very, very mindful of where your power box is moved to here, because you're gonna find a lot of people are like, oh, my wheels are slippery, I can't turn on the corners. Well, it could be because you're not putting the pressure on your skates, and so since there's not enough weight on your skates, your wheels are sliding. They've left your power box. As long as they're underneath that area, for the most part, you know, sometimes it's a really slippery track or it may be raining, but for the most part, if you've got weight on your skates, pressures on them, you're not gonna get near the slip as someone who's pushing outside of the power box. So with all that being said, we're gonna get to the first step in it. So much like we did when we were working on our two-legged pushing out, now we're in the corners, and since we're only turning one way, we're only gonna push 1 foot out, 1 foot out, 1 foot out. Now when you do this, be mindful, again, all your pressure's on your back wheel. All your wheels are gonna stay on the ground the whole entire time. If you're gonna lift any wheels, it should only be the front wheel, not the back wheel. And remember, when you feel the pressure leave your foot, it's time to relax your foot, bring it back in, and do it again. Also remember not to bounce. You're gonna wanna bounce because your legs are tired, but don't. Try and stay static in your speed skating form. I'm gonna show you what it looks like right here. We're in our speed skating form, we're low. This is my outer foot. I'm gonna push it out and bring it back in. Out, back in, out, back in, out, back in. Drive off our back wheel. Notice this foot is pretty much static. There's nothing going on with the inner foot. The outer foot is driving that back wheel. Every step, driving with that back wheel. Now notice how I'm just pushing 6, 8 inches out, and I'm getting pretty decent speed just from this one outer push. If you see my hip, it's the closest thing to that ground there. Everything here is in a straight line through my core, driving through that back wheel. Now, of course, there's other technical things that you've got to consider. If you haven't learned yet about your hip and your shoulder position, that's a lesson for another day. But when you get your body in alignment and you sit in your speed skating form, you should be able to push with that outer leg, one push at a time, vacation, bring it back in, one push at a time, bring it back in, and you're gonna be dizzy like I am right now. Now, don't sleep on this, because I did for many years, and that is, we gotta go the other direction sometimes, right? So we're gonna try and do this the other way, pushing now this time with my left foot, which is now my outer foot, going circles the other direction. I'm certain it's not gonna look the same because I spent my entire life turning left, but I think I can make it happen. So again, we're in our speed form, and we're gonna just drive from that back wheel. Drive from that back wheel. So do I think that we're gonna be as good in one direction as we are the other? Probably not, but a fun little fact, for our course to be an international road track official, it has to have at least one corner in the other direction. Now, it doesn't have to be a full corner, it could be just a little chicane, but I can tell you, guys like, I don't know, my brother, who can cross really well the other direction, they have an advantage over some of us, me, who may struggle a little bit going the other way. So if I'm you and I've got the time, I'm gonna make sure I can do this push, this outer push, both with my right foot and my left foot when I'm turning. This has been us working on our outer push on the corners while we're working on our power box and finding your push. This is just one step of many, and it should be done in the whole grouping. And we're gonna go into the next step of the corner right now.